I can literally see change through these songs and through these concepts.
Is there, yeah, did the band help you maybe get rid of the flaws as a person in some way?
I think so. I mean, certainly over the span of 5 records, I've certainly found a confidence. When looking back, every record is documents a time in my life, and I can see growth when I look back at this overall saga. And to me, that's certainly rewarding and makes me comfortable. Like, wow, I can literally see change through these songs and through these concepts, and a strength that maybe wasn't there before.
Is there, for you, a key or a turning point where you can say now, looking back at the 5 records, this is for me the most, or one of the most important points?
I think this one is certainly the most important, but I think where we start to see that strength and myself as an individual start to come out of the shell is Good Apollo 1 from Fear Through the Eyes of Madness, where conceptually the story breaks into 2 parts, and we see it from the fiction side and the writer's side, and how the writer's reality affects the outcome of the story. I think that was my first introduction to letting the fans know that these stories come from a place very real. So yeah.
Is there, maybe without maybe necessarily having to get rid of the story that you're hiding behind, do you feel at this point in your life you're maybe stepping away from behind the shield, that maybe you
yeah, I mean,
possible maybe in the...
I mean, certainly. I mean, I think yes, with the confidence, that could happen. But I also really do like the idea of the concept record and the challenge that it poses. It's fun for me to do this, to find a significance between myself and a piece of fiction. I really like that. I really do. I really love the challenge, and I don't know. I think breaking away from that challenge might be the most difficult part.
Yeah, you said you're married now.
Mm-hmm.
That probably would have an influence on the fictional side of you as well.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Because it means sort of balance, or at least you found peace with somebody.
Yeah, yeah, she's awesome.
Okay.
But we've been seeing each other for 7 years, so she's been a lot of my muse for the past few records. I mean, one, going back to that Good Apollo record from Fear Through the Eyes of Madness. It's a very dark record, and very much reflects a very dark time in our relationship when things weren't so good, and I couldn't handle them quite as maturely as I might be able to now. This record is definitely reflects just who we are together as a couple. There are certain songs that really do that. Like, for example, Here We Are Juggernaut is very much about my relationship with her. I wrote that song about a couple of months before we were actually going to get married, and I was just thinking about all we had gone through and just how strong of a team we've become. I mean, this woman is my best friend, and I just felt like we can accomplish anything together. And so I created that song as a testament to that emotion. So
when maybe personal question, but when did you thought, well, this is the right time to marry her?
Well, I mean, 7 years is a long time to really share our relationship with that person. But when I saw that we started working together in different mediums, like just writing and things like that, and just there was more happiness than not, and it just really made sense. I mean, I think I owed it to her to really solidify that union. So.
Yeah, I read another, maybe it's a rumor, but maybe it's not, so I'm just asking the source. I heard that you get up while on tour at 5 o'clock to write on stories, is that true?
Yeah, I do that, I do. I find myself to be the most creative in that world that early. Usually that's when I'm the most motivated, is right when I get up.
So it's not that you continue writing for the rest of the day, it's just that moment of the day that is very
special.
Okay.
I'll until I start to dry up, that's about it.
But how, maybe, you probably not have it from the sport, but is there some way that you stay disciplined and focused, because it probably takes some effort? It's an unusual way maybe that...
Yeah, I mean, creativity kind of comes in sparks, certainly, and sometimes you can't. For me, I don't know when it's going to happen. I mean, it could, most of the time, usually like that discipline is in the morning. I know that's just kind of the way my mind is at that moment in time. It wants to create, it wants to write fiction, and it does. And I think I do okay at that moment in time. But there are moments like, for say, on the road, where it just kind of comes, and I'm in a hotel room and I need, you know, an idea happens and I need to kind of work it out, and I need to allow it to, it needs my attention at that moment in time. So I'll sit and I'll start working on it.